दोस्तों मैं हूं मदन सिंह एंड आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक टू यू ऑन अ वेरी सेंसेशनल टॉपिक. ये शायद आपने इतने वीडियोस के ऊपर देखे नहीं होंगे, बट आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू अबाउट दीज वीडियोस. जेंटलमैन, मैं आपको बताने वाला हूं अबाउट ए जिन. JINN. जिन क्या होता है? इट इज एन एंटिटी क्रिएटेड बाय गॉड फ्रॉम स्मोक एंड फायर. और इस जो आदमी ये होता है, he is a supernatural being. He's got a lot of powers. He can do a lot of good and he can do a lot of bad also. Such a character is only in Islamic and pre-Islamic literature. इस Quranic literature does mention कि जो जिन था, he helped King Solomon in so many fields. And आपने वो कहानी सुनी होगी, अली बाबा and 40 चोर, यानी अली बाबा and 40 thieves, where there is a magical cave, and there Ali Baba comes across a jinn who helps him later on. And there are stories of the jinn being found in a bottle, and when the man opened the bottle, the jinn emerged from it and said, "Thank you, master. Since you have saved me from the bottle and a permanent imprisonment, I am going to help you." Well, gentlemen, ये जो jinn character है, it is not there in Hindu literature, ऐसे नहीं है. But Islamic folklore में jinn is a very important figure. He can do both good and he can do both bad. And he can create a lot of trouble also, but he can be very helpful. There's a story which I read about a jinn, whether it's alive or, I mean, true or no, I can't say. And the jinn, when he comes into your power and you help him, the jinn has some bet, some condition. And the condition, this jinn said, that whatever you do, I will only do it for 45 minutes, and after that, I will leave you. So the jinn, this young prince, was very happy. He said, "Okay, 45 minutes is a long time, but जिन ने पूछा, "What is the task? आपको काम क्या करना है?" He said, "I desire a beautiful princess जो एक castle में रहती है, and she is being kept imprisoned by her father. Can you bring her to me?" The jinn said, "Yes, master, I can do it." And suddenly the jinn flew into the sky and he vanished. And the prince was wondering what happened. And then he returned with the bed of the princess and put them before the young man. He said, "This girl is all yours now, master. For 45 minutes, you can do what you want with her." So now they were in a very mountainous area, and the prince said, "Bhai, this area mujhe pasand nahi. I don't like this area. Why don't you take me to a better place?" He said, "I'll take you to the celestial, up into the world of heaven." So he lifted up to the court with the prince and the princess and flew them up into the sky. And then the prince made ferocious love to this princess, and he was so thrilled. But 45 minutes and it was all over, and suddenly 5 minutes were left, and the jinn came to the prince and said, "Prince, 45 minutes are coming over, and now I'm going away." But he says, "We are in the middle of the sky." He said, "I can't help it. You have to fall from the sky because your condition was that I will keep you for 45 minutes." But he was a good jinn. He believed in goodness. He said, "Okay, I will take you down, put you there in your castle, and after that, you have to free me." So the prince said, "Okay." And gentlemen, this is just a story, but this shows the supernatural powers which the jinn had. And even I think one of the holy scriptures mentioned that the woman who will be given in paradise to the people who will do good for the Islamic religion are untouched by man or jinn. So that is a point to be noted. So the jinns are created for smoke and fire. And there are so many stories of jinns all over. But I don't know whether jinns are really real. But I think there must be something in this jinn business. Basically, they are ghosts who can take the form of a human being or an animal. In India, you have a chaleda. You have so many things, so many people who can change their form. And this is one of them. The jinn is part of Middle East folklore. I think there's a lot of mention of jinn in the Arabian Nights, and the jinn not only in Ali Baba, then there was Sinbad the sailor, there also the jinn was there. Another fantastic story. So, gentlemen, I think you must take the story of the jinn with a pinch of salt. But the jinn is definitely something real as far as imagination is concerned. And I don't think there's any English word for jinn. It is written as Jinn, and you can call him a ghost, you can call him a angel, but then angels do only good, and the jinn can do a lot of harm also. If you don't follow the jinn's directions, he could do a lot of harm for you. Well, gentlemen, these are ancient folklores which are there, and they're so very interesting. And I think the East is full of them. You won't find anything like that in any other part of the world. Maybe you have a lot of stories in Chinese folklore and Japanese folklore also, but we should be proud of what we have in the East, that is the subcontinent, and the jinn is one of them. Now, another thing about the jinn is that can a jinn marry a human being? There have been stories of very beautiful princesses who were really jinns, but then I think they cannot marry a human being, and a jinn cannot touch a human being also physically. But the jinn can do so many things, and he can help you. I remember reading my grandfather telling me about a tailor, who was sitting reciting mantra on the top of a deep well on a plank. And the 40th night, the water began to come forward, and then a jinn appeared before him. Yes, a jinn appeared before him, and he said, "You are my master. Tell me what you want. I'll give you three wishes." He said, "The first wish is I want to test you." He said, "Okay, do it." He said, "You see that tree there? The tree? Uproot it." And the jinn went and uprooted the tree. And he was surprised. There was a big clap of thunder, and the tree was uprooted. The tailor, who was actually a real tailor and a friend of my grandfather, really surprised that he had got unique powers. And the jinn then told him, "What else? You got two more wishes." And the second wish, he said, is, "I must test you again. You see a wall there?" He said, "Yes." "Break the wall." There was another clap of thunder, the wall broke. And there were a lot of people watching what's happening, and they didn't know what the hell's going on. And the jinn said, "You got only one wish left now. Don't waste that. You wasted two wishes." Well, he said, "What's your third wish?" He says, "I want to have a house of my own. I want to get my daughter married." The jinn said, "Done. Now go home." And when he went home, he found his transport orders. The tailor decided that he was going to another place. He made a lot of money. He got his daughter married. He built his house. But the moment these two jobs were over, he became poor again. So that's the point. And he was looking for the jinn all the time, but it didn't happen. Now, this is like replace believe it or not. You can believe it, you can just forget about it. That's another point what it is. But the jinn is very interesting character. And the jinn is very strong. He's very, very strong. He can even lift a mountain up. So these are the stories which make folklore so interesting. And gentlemen, I think close now. I give you an idea into the jinn, and the jinn can help you in your love. That's the most beautiful thing. I think if I were to take a wish with the jinn, I would tell him, "I want to make love to all the women in the world." Well, that's part of life, gentlemen. I will close now and say goodbye. Take care. God bless. I hope you like my channel. Share it with your friends. Come back for more. And do subscribe and do comment. And goodbye. God bless. Take care.